The problem will follow you.
The problem could follow you. And also, is there some more work that you could do? Is this an opportunity for you to do some work
on yourself?
Here?
It does sound like your boundaries have slipped. Answering emails at night, giving up my weekends just to keep up. Was that asked of you?
Yeah. It can lead to passive aggression, because if you feel like I'm telling them but no one's listening, you find ways to let them know how you're feeling without just being very explicit about it.
Yeah. Hi and welcome to the therapy floor. I'm Dr. Ritz.
And I'm Dr. Vicky.
And we're diving in today's dilemma. So this one comes in from a 28-year-old male, and he says, I feel like I'm drowning at work. Ever since there were cuts, my workload has doubled and I'm constantly staying late, answering emails at night and giving up my weekends just to keep up. I brought it up with my manager and they just hit me with the usual, we appreciate you, we're working on it, but nothing is actually changing. I feel resentful and on the verge of burnout. Do I push through and hope things get better, confront my boss again, or start looking for the next exit?
I feel like this is all too common in corporate settings. When I've worked with corporate clients, just really feeling the pressure. Actually, not just with corporate clients.
I was going to say, we don't know if this is corporate.
Yeah, no. I think I've generally found it in just high pressured work environments where there is a lot of expectation, and also usually a lot of like financial remuneration, if that's the word. Like the job is very desirable and is quite hard to come by, so people feel like I need to stick because what will I do if I don't have this? So I get it. I get feeling like, oh my goodness, am I being taken advantage of here? And how can I get some semblance of like a work-life balance? But it sounds like all of those options are good options, and it might just be a matter of working through them. I don't know, what do you think? Because what was the first one? The first one was, do I
push through and hope it gets
better? Which is, I guess, is what your managers are wanting you to do because they're telling you it's going to get better. Or do I speak to them again? Or do I look for another job?
Yeah.
I think all of those are viable options. It might just be about understanding what's your priority here. What's the end goal for you right now? If the end goal is, I really need to look after my health, I can't stomach this any longer, then I think you do have to be a bit more, aggressive with your approach. If the priority right now is about alerting your managers and kind of helping them to see what you're feeling, then maybe speak to them. But if your priority is also about just kind of putting your head down and keeping the peace, then the first option.
Yeah, so what you're really saying there is come back to you.
Yeah.
Where are you right now and what do you need?
Yeah.
So is it you want the stability of the job and so that's requiring you to just knuckle down and get on with it? Do you need more balance and to look after your physical health? So then you pipe up? Or is it game over?
Yeah.
On to the next one. I'd also be quite keen to know, before the work doubled, did you like the job? Was it always a job you really liked and now it's just like, oh, this has happened.
Yeah.
This is annoying this has happened because I actually really like what I do. And before this happened, before my work doubled and before there was all this pressure, I had quite a nice work-life balance. I was working, I was enjoying it, I was having a social life, I was doing activities, I had connection. I think that's really different to I was already not enjoying it or the job was already niggling away at me. And now this is another thing that's been added for me to really not be happy here. But one thing I've picked up on as I read it again is I feel resentful. I think that's a really important statement that you've made, and one I would want to unpick further, which is, who are you resentful at?
Yeah.
Is it the manager? Is it the organisation? Is it yourself? I know I've certainly worked with people where they think they're angry at the organisation, but actually when you get deeper and deeper and deeper into it, the resentment is actually aimed more inwards. They're resenting the fact that maybe they are not able to advocate for themselves, meet their needs, identify their needs. And so it gets easier to place the blame and the resentment into something that's external.
Yeah.
Rather than take it inwards and then actually take responsibility for it.
Yeah, 100% actually. And I was also thinking it's a little bit hard to kind of offer real practical advice without knowing a bit more about this individual and about their natural temperament or their tendencies, because maybe any of these options may change, or I may kind of get you to explore either one of these options if I know a little bit more about your history with taking risks, with feeling resentful in relationships, with maybe feeling stuck and not taking ownership over certain things. And if I knew that, then it will be a little bit more interesting to explore all of those options, wouldn't it? Because if you are someone who typically tends to locate the blame externally when you could be looking internally, then my suggestion wouldn't be to just, just leave. It would be...
The problem will follow you.
The problem could follow you. And also, is there some more work that you could do? Is this an opportunity for you to do some work
on yourself
here and use this?
You know, as you're saying all this, what's coming up for me is people pleasing and boundaries. I'm just wondering, sometimes are the people that are cut are the ones who maybe the company view as not pulling their weight, but maybe they've actually got better boundaries.
Or that are not non-cooperative.
Yeah.
Which,
again, they've got good boundaries because they're non-cooperative.
Yeah.
Whereas, we don't know if you work in a corporate setting, but again, I know from my clinical experience, the corporate setting likes to suck in people that have a core belief of I'm not good enough.
And perfectionism.
Exactly, because they're just going to push to prove their self-worth, to prove they're valuable. So if the manager is like, right, we're making these cuts, guys, I need you to show up now. I really need you to push through for me. Actually, the people that are left behind are going to be the ones that are probably saying, yeah, I will.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah.
I'll put everything else on hold to prove it, to show up. And do what's best for the company. I want you to be the CEO of your own organisation, of your life, and take a bit of control here with that. It does sound like your boundaries have slipped. Answering emails at night, giving up my weekends just to keep up. Was that asked of you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, good question. Is that an expectation? And if you were to stop doing that, what would happen?
What's the worst case scenario? What if? Use that downward arrow here.
Yeah.
If I didn't work on the weekends, what would happen? My boss might say, where's the work?
Yeah.
So then I would say, I did what I could until Friday, and then I used the weekend to relax and hang out.
Yeah.
And connect. So what would happen? Your boss is likely to say, okay, can you push through this week?
Yeah.
Can you
make it up another way?
Can you make it up another way? I'm not sure that I can. I don't know if I've got the capacity for that. So then we keep going down to what's the worst case scenario. Are you worried you're going to lose your job if you are not doubling down?
And if you do, because I guess there's always a likelihood, right? And if you do, what would that say about you? What would be so bad about that? Other than the typical, like, you know, you needing stability, but also what would that say about you as an individual?
Yeah, that more deeper level.
Yeah.
If I'm somebody who loses my job, then I am. Like, finish off that sentence. Because I think it's an opportunity here for you to play with the worst case scenarios, let the beliefs come to the surface, and then challenge them. Because if the answer is I'm a failure, I'd want you to challenge that you're a failure. What are the facts that you're a failure?
Yeah.
Have you created this rule that people that lose their jobs are failures of the world? And we can easily do that. We can easily buy into those scripts without realising them. But what it's going to be about now is making those potentially unconscious thoughts conscious. Bringing them to the surface, bringing them in front of you, challenging them. And yeah, I feel like the more we're talking about this, the more it just feels like an internal piece of work rather than a direction.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, this isn't just a simple, what do I do to get through this? This is, okay, I need to address some things that are going on internally for me that will help me, not just in this scenario, but in future scenarios when it comes to your work, your self-esteem, self-worth, work-life balance.
I'm also curious to know, does this pattern play out in other areas of your life? So are you the guy who doubles down for your friends, for your family? Will you put yourself out in order to accommodate somebody else's needs? I'd be really keen to know that.
Yeah. And if you're not, what makes work so different?
Yes.
As well.
Because that's good.
And is it that work has plays a real significance for you in your life? So yeah, there's so many different ways in which we can take this, but I don't think it's as simple as telling you what to do.
Yeah.
It's just going deeper. It's going deeper and realising why it's necessary and important for you to kind of grapple with your internal motivations in this situation.
Yeah.
Just so you can set yourself up for feeling like you can make choices without feeling like I have to. This is what I have to do, like the choice is made for me.
And that it has to be the right choice. We don't know that. I don't think we can ever give anybody the answer to whether it's going to be the right choice, but I think you can get clearer on what your internal motivations are. And then that helps you to be guided to make your choice for what you need in your life in this moment. Like, you could look back 10 years from now and think, oh, I'm not sure that was the right choice now with all this hindsight, but in that moment it was probably likely to be. And it's something we don't really pay attention to, you know, our internal motivators, because when you're kind of maybe are doubling down in work or in life, like in a major, you know, when you're going through something quite major, that tends to be the default, to double down, to just like get on and get through it. That the normal response is to bob along. And actually, I think what we're asking you to do here is just to pause.
Yeah.
And pausing is really hard because what you're wanting is the solution.
Yeah.
And when you pause, you don't necessarily get the solution straight away. But I think you need to pause to clear the fog.
Yeah.
And to get back in touch with you. otherwise what's going to happen is I feel like if you don't pause, that resentment's going to become a vicious cycle. And it's then quite easy to get into, I've already told them that it's not working.
Yeah.
And they're not listening to me. And I had to work till 10 o'clock at the weekend. And I had to cancel all my plans.
And it can lead to passive aggression. Because if you feel like I'm telling them but no one's listening, you find ways to let them know how you're feeling without just being very explicit about it.
Yeah, it leaks out.
Yeah.
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 There's an aura to it, isn't there? Yeah. It happened to me once.
Really?
Yeah. So when I was working in a hospital and I started off loving the job, I loved it. And I'm quite a bubbly person, I'm a very chatty person. Even at lunch, you know, I'd always like make time for just connecting with like my colleagues, my boss and whatnot in the morning.
Is this the same hospital we worked at?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because,
That's a different story.
Oof, yeah.
I can't believe we worked there.
I can't believe it either.
And then I can't remember what happened what exactly led up to it, but I just remember like slowly feeling like I was being chipped away at. And my sparkle just went. The glitter in my veins just went. I just had normal blood again. Yeah. And my boss, who I think had played a part in like me being chipped away at, but I acted in such a passive aggressive way that she eventually, I think, said to me like, are you okay? Like, you just don't seem yourself. And I remember at the time wanting to lash out and be like, of course I'm not myself. Like, all these demands that are being placed on us and da-da-da-da-da, when actually you just need to like hire more staff or like change like the system here. And I think it wasn't until obviously I didn't say that, but it wasn't until I sat with that afterwards to be like, Riz, this isn't you. You turning up and like just being angry is not you. You don't want to work like this.
Yeah.
What have you done about it? And I realised I actually hadn't done much about it. I think I was expecting other people to do it for me.
Yeah.
It can be quite a big wake-up call.
Yeah, when you realise no one is coming to save you, you have to do the work yourself. You have to do the difficult, messy, grimy, awkward
changes.
Yeah.
Whatever they look like.
Yeah. All right, I hope we've kind of given you some pointers to not necessarily just go away and act, but to think, to pause, like you were saying, Ritz.
The opposite of act.
Yeah, just literally to take a breath, think, go deep, go inwards, and ask yourself, okay, what do I need? What do I need to give myself? And take it from there.
Yeah. You'll find probably multiple answers and then just see, use your body to connect with what feels most authentic to you right now. Right now. I think this is going to be relatable to so many people that are either going through this or have been through this, like I've been through it. So yeah, I hope it can be helpful to lots of you out there. Please like and share this episode. Please subscribe to us and follow us on our socials. And if you have a dilemma, you can send it in to us at hello@thetherapyfloor.com. But for now, I'm Dr. Ritz.
And I'm Dr. Vicky.
And we will see you on the floor soon.
Bye.
Bye.